Welcome to Aspire to Inspire, Inspo Hot Cocoa. This is your girl Natural Ebb, and let's get into today's subject. All right, so before I say again, welcome guys. First thing we're going to say before we start our topic today, which is the qualities of a good man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel for more. Make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe button. All right, so you guys make sure you guys stay tuned with me and let's keep it going. All right, guys, so today's subject discussion is qualities of a good man. Now, I absolutely love that I have a good man. I love my husband to pieces. Me and my husband have been together for 16 years. Let's see, we got together in 2008. So yes, 16 years. My husband has been together total 16 years. And we have been married for 12 years. So together 16, married for 12 years. So I am so thankful. I thank God for him every day. I don't like to brag and say that we're not the perfect couple, but we definitely, I think my husband and I were meant to be together. The way God paired us together, between my personality and his personality, I think that we are somewhat opposites, but I think that we definitely fit together. So I thank God every day that he chose my husband for me. I thank God he chose my husband for me. So the qualities of a good man. So I have a lot of coworkers and I have, associates and friends that, are in this single life, are dating, trying to find a man and trying to, figure out relationship in general. And so one thing I always tell them that first and foremost, I tell my girls that you should not be the one trying to find a man. The right way, as I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me mention this before, if you want a good man and if you know that a good man is right for you, let God send him to you. Because a lot of girls a lot of women make mistakes where they go searching and they go hunting for a man and then they want to pick in the wrong one. And then from that, it just starts off as a world disaster. And so I always say the right way is a man should seek you. You should never seek a man. That is the first and foremost. A woman should never seek a man. The man should find the woman. That's number one. And number two, I feel, and ladies, this is extremely important. I can't even stress how important this is enough. And this is definitely something I'm going to be telling my daughter when she gets that age and she starts, dating and all this. One thing that to me signifies a good man is if he knows the Lord, if he is a God-fearing man. One of the most, I would say, recognizable but cannot be really thought of red flags is if a man does not fear God. If he does not fear God or he does not know God, that is, to me, that's a red flag to keep it moving. Keep trucking, keep it moving. Don't stop, don't look back, keep it going. Because if a man doesn't know God, right there, to me, that is a first step recipe for Satan to come in and just have a playing field. So if a man does not know God, if he does not fear God, ladies, I'm telling you, run for the hills. Please, that is the most important thing, is he has to know God. He has to know Jesus. And of course, he has to have his relationship with God. But he has to know God. If he doesn't, ladies, I'm telling you, that could solve a whole world of future problems to come. And most females don't think about that. Now, I can't speak for the woman where her values and her morals are. And I'm hoping that you ladies is on the right track. But if it's not, then that can also explains the recipe for disaster when they get into these relationships. But for a woman, if you have a strong foundation with God, if you have a strong relationship with God, and the significant other or the guy or the man that you're interested in does not, then that should tell you right there that you need to keep it moving and find somebody who does. Because trust me, that can solve a whole world of these future domestic violence situations and stalking situations and all that ladies face, unfortunately, in today's world. That can stop a lot of that if he does not. And trust me, I always say that people, and men and women, not just men but women too, I always say that if a person is not in the right frame of mind, they show signs way ahead of time. People always show signs. Now, a lot of times those signs are ignored, which is a huge mistake that people make. A lot of, because, they claim, oh, I'm so deeply in love. I didn't see that. I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think that he would ever do that. When he showed the first sign, that should automatically tell you something. That should automatically say, put a pause, put a break on it, like, whoa. If this is what's the beginning of it, then I really should not want to see what's to come. And that should be a red flag. So again, ladies, please, if you're in this single life and you're in a dating world, please keep that in mind. Please, because this world itself really needs Jesus. But a man who does not know God, that is a recipe for disaster. I'm telling you, ladies, and I'm so grateful that my husband knows God and he has his own relationship with God. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that he does, because this is what have kept us strong this long. With 3 kids, marriage, everything, this is what had kept me and my husband going strong for all these years. So if he does not, and I'm not saying that we're not human, we're not going to make mistakes, but at the end of the day, your purpose is to do God's will. You make a mistake, you repent, and you move on. God is a forgiving God. He is a loving God. He is a caring God. He is an understanding God. He knows we're human. He made us. He created us. So he knows what we go through. He knows what we feel. He knows what we're facing. But at the end of the day, your job is to do God's will, live out God's plan for your life, glorify him, and you'll live a happy life with no struggle, no lack, no need, no nothing. Just living a fulfilled life. That is what God's purpose for us, is to live a fulfilled life. And I hate that everybody in the world does not know that. That's really, to me, really disheartening that everybody in the world doesn't know that. But that is what God's purpose is for us, to live a fulfilled life. As long as he get the glorification, but to live a fulfilled life. So ladies, that is extremely, all these qualifications I'm going to give you, to me, that is a top tier number 1, that he has to have a relationship and he has to know God. That is number 1. Number 2, for a good qualification in a man, is a man who, to me, when a man approaches a woman, it's always about how he approaches. I know back in my college days, I used to have guys try to holler at me all the time. Hey, yo, shawty. Hey, ma. What's up? Let me holler at you. What? I mean, that's, my college days, I was kind of naive. So I was like, okay. But now I'd be like, that is no way to approach a girl. That's no way to approach a woman. Like, no way. And especially, to me, an appearance is everything. To me, an appearance is everything. So if old boy is trying to holler at you with his pants below his butt, no, he need to try again. He needs to try again. Rewind and try again. Okay? And ladies, we should not accept that. I always say that for a female, how we present ourselves is important. We don't have to show boobs and show our behinds and show our kitty cats to get attention. We shouldn't have to do that. Our beauty and the way that we walk and the way that we pose and the way that we carry ourselves should be enough. For us, it should be enough. Same thing with a guy. How he carries himself, the confidence, the strong will, that should say enough. Not his pants hanging below his butt telling some, hey ma, what's up, shawty? Let me holler at you. No. No, 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 no. That should not be something that we should accept at all. So a man's approach is definitely what's to see, what's to come, future, what's to look forward to. That's also definitely, most definitely a qualification that a woman should really, really, really look at and really, really, really consider when trying to trying to possibly pursue something with a man. That's number one. Another thing, a qualification for a man is knowing that, like I said, you guys know I talk about marriage because I am married. Because a marriage is a whole different ball game from dating. That is it's not on the same level, not at all. But in order to become a future good husband, then a man has to display, his love and his appreciation for a woman. And I heard somebody say, I think it was one of my coworkers said that a man should always, she put it, a woman should never love harder than a man, because a woman, we love with our emotions, we love with our feelings, we love with our nurturing, side and everything. And a man, I do admit, it's so much harder for a man to come around, for a man to express his emotions, because with my husband is not one to really show his emotions. Like, he's not one, because one thing, if my husband is mad or he's feeling some type of way, he'll shut down. Like, if he's mad at me, he'll shut down. He won't even talk. Like, he'll just stay to himself, won't say nothing, won't interact, nothing. That's how I know when my husband is upset or he's going through something that needs further addressing between the two of us. But a man definitely does not, I feel like, does not love firsthand with their emotions. Not at all. It takes time for a man to really open up. And I feel like when a man opens up, not by pressure from the woman, but when he truly is ready to open up on his own, and he does that with the woman that he's with, then to me, that is a recipe for a good relationship. Because then he's come out of his shell to where if something is bothering him, if something that he may be dealing with, from, childhood. Sometimes a lot of people, men and women, are still dealing with traumas from their childhood that they have not gotten over, that unfortunately carries into their adult life, that carries into their marriages, that carries into their adulthood. So I feel like when those walls start slowly breaking down and he's comfortable enough to open up and share with the woman, that is a qualification for a good man and a good relationship. Because it's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to be honest with you. And even some women, who have really gone through things in life, in their childhood, that have, been traumatic, they don't open up right away, because it takes them a while to trust a man, to trust, for a man to love her the right way if they've been violated, in their past, by someone they've trusted. It takes a while. It takes healing. It takes God intervention, It takes God intervention for that to happen. So it's not an overnight process. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes, it takes a long time. But patience is a virtue. And when those walls start coming down and the openness and the trusting emerges, then to me that is definitely the good foundation. Besides God, that is a good foundation for a wonderful relationship to happen, or to become, or to start evolving. So that's definitely important. Another good qualification of a good man is one who knows how to fulfill his role as head of the household. And this comes in the aspect of marriage. When a man knows his roles as head of the household, when all his focus is to make sure that his house, his wife, and children are taken care of ahead of his own needs, then that's a qualification of a good man. Because that's one thing my husband now is working 2 jobs and is in school, trying to, get, of course, what he wants to, for his life. But he's doing that, the 2 jobs, and making sure that our household is taken care of, to making sure that me and the kids have what we need, to making sure that everything is fulfilled in our house. And that, to me, that I definitely love and admire my husband for doing so. And it's not easy, because aside from all that, he still have his fatherly and husbandly duties, to fulfill. So it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy for him or for any other man who may be going through the same thing, but the fact that they're willing to do it and they want to do it, that to me is definitely honorable. And I appreciate men, my husband, who does, who is taking those roles on very seriously. And like I said, always, let God be your foundation. Once God is your foundation, and you trust, and you fulfill, and you do your part, then God will open up the rest. He'll open up doors for you. He'll open up, opportunities that you may have never thought could even happen. He can make things happen that man question, like, what? How is that possible? When that, when this doesn't make sense, and it's confusing, and it's really, you're questioning, how in the world did this happen? Then that's how I know that God is working. Because God works in mysterious ways. Oh, that's good. God works in mysterious ways. And just because we don't see God physically working, just because we may seem like nothing is happening in our eyes, does not mean that God is not working behind the scenes. God sometimes is a behind the scenes, worker. He doesn't like to always show right up front what he's doing, how he's shifting things into gear for you and your life. But trust, believe, that doesn't mean that God is not doing anything. And that's why I say patience is virtue, because with that, God does stuff in his timing, not ours. He does stuff in his timing, not ours. I will say that again. God does stuff in his timing, not ours. So us being not human flesh, we want things done right there, now, make it happen like this second. God's not always like that. What we want to happen in a second, God can make happen in months. God can make happen in years if he feels like you're not ready for it. But God does not always work in our timing. So we have to keep that in mind, and we still have to be grateful for what is occurring in our lives. We still breathing. We still have a roof over our head, clothes on our back. We are without a job. We are making ends meet. I shouldn't say that. Not making ends meet, but we're able to take care of what we have to continue our day-to-day lives. That and knowledge is what we should be grateful and thankful to God for. Always. Because a lot of people aren't experiencing that, guys. A lot of people don't have that same opportunities that we may have. So we have to be grateful, and we have to be thankful to God for having and allowing us to be able to experience that. So back on that subject of the qualities of a good man, definitely the head of the household taking on that role, and that the man fulfills it well, then hey, that is a good man. Let me tell you, that's a good man. Now, qualifications, head of household in a dating sense. If he shows you that he, wants the best for you, is helping you to, work to fulfill your dream. And I'm not saying put his life on hold, but working to help you fulfill your dreams, encouraging you, saying, hey, you can do it, you can do this, keep going, don't give up, keep your head up. And he supports what you do, and he supports you, doesn't criticize, but loves you, supports you, and wants to see you succeed, then hey, that is a good man. That is a good man, and that is someone who really, really, really values you. He values what you bring to the table. He values what you have. He values what you can do. And to me, that is a good man. That is a good man who supports a woman, whatever she does, and who's always encouraging her, not downplaying her or not disrespecting her or not making her feel any less than what she is, but a man who uplifts a woman, a man who supports a woman, to me, that is a qualification of a good man. And like I said, that makes a qualification for a good husband in the future. So definitely keep that in mind, guys. For women who, are in this dating sense, this dating world. I've been out the game for a long time. So this dating world, from what I hear now, I'm like, child, I am not in that life no more. But that doesn't mean that it can't be good. That doesn't mean that something can't happen from it. Meaning that, a good relationship or possibly a good marriage can't emerge from it. But I just tell people who shares with me, and I'm that person where everybody loves to tell me their stories or their problems, which I appreciate. If you feel like you can share with me, I'm one not to tell. If you don't want your business out there, I'm not gonna put your business out there. If you trust me enough to keep it between us, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm always a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen. I've always been like that. And people feel comfortable enough to share their stuff with me, and I appreciate that. But as I tell them, you have to know your worth. For women, you have to know your worth, because if you don't know your worth, if you get a man that sees your worth more than you do, then thank God for that. But 9 times, I want to say really 8.5 times out of 10, these men out here, these guys out here who have not fully grown and matured, does not see your worth if you don't see your worth. So women, you have to know your worth. You have to know your limits. You have to know what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. Because I feel like, unfortunately, in a lot of these domestic violence situations, is the woman don't see their worth and the woman don't have their limitations. And so therefore they allow the man to do whatever they want to them, because they don't have standards. They don't have boundaries. And that's pretty much, that's what it is. That's what it is, unfortunately. That's the nip in the bud. That's exactly, I feel like that's what happens in these domestic violence situations. And it's unfortunate. No woman should have to go through that, or no man. Because it's not just women that's being abused. Men are too, unfortunately. And nobody should have to have that power over another person, or should be under that submission of another person. Heck no. My husband is a man. I knew from the beginning that he would never be like that, because he told me, unfortunately, he has witnessed that in his life, and he told me that he would never ever be that man. And I was definitely grateful for that. This is before, actually right before we had our first son. I was very grateful for that. So I knew my husband would never be that type to ever treat me like that. I knew that from the get-go. But my husband knows too. There are some things that I will accept. I'm under the submission of my husband, but my husband knows too. I have a head of my own. I have a mind of my own. And he knows, he tells me all the time, this is your world. I'm just here. But, but he knows, I'm a very strong-willed, I'm a very strong-headed person. I'm a very confident person. I'm strong in my faith, and my husband knows that about me. And I definitely knows he appreciates that side of me for sure. And so, unfortunately, ladies, there are some men who don't value that, because, like I said, you don't value that. So you have to know your worth. You have to have that confidence. You have to know how God created you. Well, we know how, but you have to know why God created you. You have to know what characteristics God have. I'm trying to see how I can say this. You have to know what God created a woman for. Let me say it that way. God created a woman different ways from the way he created a man. So you have to know that. You have to know, you have to know your morals. You have to know your standards. You have to know that, even though you are, you're supposed to be, we're delicate. We are nurturing. Women are nurturing. We're childbearing. We're the motherly figures. But you also have to know, hey, we are a strong force. Women are a strong force. And you have to know that, because if you don't, then unfortunately you'll let anything and everything come into your life. And that is not a good space. That is not a good place. And that is a recipe for the devil himself, Satan, to come in and disrupt every ounce of your life, every ounce of what God has intentionally designed for you. So ladies, please keep that in mind. So I feel like I gave some good qualifications and some good tips of a man, and what to, you know, and a bit of advice. I hope you guys was inspired by this. I hope that you guys you know, think, especially if you want to be married. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be married. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to set the foundation for that. You can't just jump and be married and think that things are just gonna work out of the sky blue. No, marriage takes work. Marriage takes work from both parties, the man and the woman. And you have to be in a good space. You have to be in that place to be ready to put in the work to establish your marriage, the good foundation. So I hope that this was inspiring to anybody who's watching this. If you have any questions, if you want to know any more tips, if you want to know any more information about today's topic or anything, make sure you guys DM me in my box below. Drop down any comments, any questions and concerns. I definitely will answer them. And so I hope that this was inspiring to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Aspire to inspire, Inspo Hot Cocoa. This is your girl, Natural Eb. Don't forget, guys, like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.